Hi, welcome to Savi's Fashion Studio. I am Savita. In my previous class, I had shown how to use Juki HZL70 computerized home sewing machine. In this class, I'll be showing how to use some of the presser feet that came with this machine. What I observed is the presser feet that I got with Juki is compatible with my other similar sewing machines, but those presser feet, when used with Juki, I need to adjust the stitch width because Juki has a maximum stitch width of 7 mm, whereas other sewing machines has a maximum stitch width of 5 mm. When I use those presser feet with Juki, I need to reduce the stitch width. If not, the needle hits the presser foot. So if you are using any presser foot, before starting to sew, just turn the hand wheel and see that the needle does not hit the presser foot. If it does, just reduce the stitch width. So let's start with the class and let's see how each presser foot works. This is the overcasting foot. You can see letter E here, and this has a fabric guide. Let's chain the presser foot. Overcasting or overlocking stitch is done at the edge of the fabric to prevent the fabric from fraying. For example, this is the inside of a garment, and you see here the fabric is fraying so much. Once we do the overlocking or overcasting stitch at the edge, the fabric stops fraying, and also it gives a neat look to the inside of your garment. The stitch pattern to select with the overcasting foot are these, or as per the stitch pattern plate, the numbers are 06 and 09. Let's switch on the machine. You can manually change the numbers to 06 or 09, or you can directly select the pattern. For now, I'll be selecting this. Now let me do overcasting stitch here. Now place the fabric against the fabric guide on this overcasting foot and then start sewing. You can use a matching thread, but here I'm using a contrasting thread just to make it clearly visible. Now you see here I've done the overcasting and this part is yet to be done. Now you see here the fabric does not fray anymore. Now that's the reason you need to do overlocking or overcasting stitches to the edges. Let me also show the other stitch. Now this is another stitch pattern, that is 09. You can use either of this. Now if you don't have the overcasting foot, you can use your standard presser foot. But I see that with the overcasting foot, it's easier to make the overcasting stitches because there's a guide here which helps you align the fabric edge to the guide. And also this part here in the foot very slightly folds the fabric edge to give a much neater finish. Now let me show blind hem or lingerie stitch foot. This is the one. There is letter F on the foot, and this foot has a guide which can be moved to the right or left. I'll show why it's used when we start sewing. So chain the presser foot. Blind hem stitch is normally used in the hem of skirts or pants. In blind hem, the stitch does not show on the right side of the fabric. The stitch pattern to be used with the blind hem foot is number 11 as per this pattern plate, and you can use number 12 if you're working with stretchy fabric. So I'll change the stitch pattern to 11 here. Now let's see how to use it. Assume this is a skirt and this is the hem of the skirt, and assume you have given a 1¼ inch seam allowance. Before doing a blind hem, fold around 5 mm of fabric here at the edge, that is a little less than 1/4 inch, and then fold to the seam allowance line. In this way, it's always good to iron before doing the blind hem as it gives a neater look. After you fold it backwards in this way such that the last fold is little away from the first fold, that is around 1/4 inch. Now place it under the foot. Before doing that, it's better to iron it flat. Before actually showing the blind hem, let me show how this stitch pattern is. So this is the stitch pattern used for blind hem. A few straight stitches and a zigzag stitch, and again straight and zigzag. When we do blind hem, the straight stitches should fall in this lower layer, and the zigzag stitch, only the tip of the stitch should catch this fold of fabric. So let me show. Now place the fabric under the foot. Ideally you should be using a matching thread, but here I am using a contrast so that it's clearly visible. Now turn the hand wheel towards you till the needle completely swings to the left. Now you see the needle has come to the extreme left. After positioning the needle to the very edge of this upper fold, lower the presser foot and adjust the guide so that the edge of this guide is aligned to the edge of the fold you see here. So turn the screw. You can see the guide is moving. So the guide is aligned to the edge of the fold here. Now start sewing. This may take a little practice, so try it on scrap fabric first before trying it on the actual garment. So this is how it is looking on the wrong side. The straight stitches are on the lower fabric and just the tip of that zigzag stitch is on this upper fold. Let's see how it is on the right side. Turn it, and on the right side this is how it would be. You can see very small stitches, but that is visible only because this is a contrast thread. When you use the same color thread, this will be almost invisible. So this is why it's called a blind hem. Now let me just use the same color thread and also show you. This is where I've done blind hem using a contrast thread. That's the reason you can see the stitch on the right side. And here I've done blind hem using a matching thread and the stitches are completely invisible. So this is how it looks on the wrong side. It's so beautiful on the inside also. In this class you have seen how to use the overcast and blind hem foot. In the upcoming classes I'll show how to use the buttonhole foot. This I've already shown in one of my previous classes on Brother Sewing Machine. It's the same way it's used here, but I'll briefly show, and I'll also be showing button sewing foot, rolled hem foot, zipper foot and decorative stitch foot. So these are the presser feet that come with this machine. I'll also be showing some of the optional presser feet that can be used with this sewing machine in our upcoming classes.